Okay, Jonathan, we are up high out there in Blabland and YouTube. This is going to be the second episode of a follow-up, 18 from 17. So, ready to start?
Yep.
Welcome to the Mailright Real Estate Show, episode 18. We just had Toby Salgado on episode 17. We had an interesting dialogue. It was really Jonathan and Toby talking. You know, Toby has got a lot of experience in starting and running businesses. He definitely knows how to run businesses. I know he's made millions of dollars. I met him shortly after he started this podcast at New Media Exposition in Las Vegas a couple of years ago. Really nice guy. He has not run a real estate brokerage, but he definitely knows how to run businesses and set up, and he delegates out a lot. So any follow-up in what he said, or what you liked, or the good, the bad, the ugly?
Well, I think we covered, because obviously we had some technical problems to start off with, and that ate into the allocated time. So we had to get on with things, didn't we, Bill?
Yeah, we helped him out with this new platform, Blab.
Yeah, with the Blab. But we got something, and I thought it was pretty good, or very good.
He's good. No, he knows his stuff. I like Toby.
Yeah, and we covered the three main areas, and we were in all three of us were in pretty much agreement. It's marketing, face-to-face marketing or online marketing. It's having a database, getting people into that database, but having some database and then utilizing that database. And that's one of the cores of Mailright, is to help you do something with that general database, isn't it? In a quick, aimed at the person that's not want to set up some elaborate system, but still wants to keep in contact with that database. That's one of the cores of Mailright.
Right.
And then we talked about website. I think in 2015, if you want to, if you're going to generate online leads and you're going to utilize paid advertisement, the main thing is to get them onto your website and then get their contact information, so then you can put them on your list and contact them, isn't it?
You're right. So keep on going.
Yeah. So I'm just a little bit aghast at how many agents don't invest in their online presence. And you've got to have a blog, and if you want to make it a true real estate, you've got to buy a really good IDX system. And not be cheap.
I disagree. I disagree with you.
No,
you
do.
You do. To buy a good IDX system.
We are going to disagree on some things, Bill.
Maybe later on, maybe if you have big bucks, but if you don't have big bucks, no. I disagree totally. So
what you're saying is that at a slightly later stage, I'm saying that if you got that money and you're prepared to make that investment, I think people want, and you got properties that you are selling for clients, you've got to have them, and you've got to display that data in a really nice way. And the way to do that is to invest in a really good quality IDX system.
Now we're talking to agents out there. Let's talk about something. Most real estate agents work for brokers. If your broker needs to have, I agree, your broker should have a really good website with IDX integrated. But that costs a lot of money to do it right.
No, not an enormous amount of money. No,
I know how much it costs. I've run brokerages. I know how much it costs to build.
No, I mean for an agent to have a quality IDX plugin and then get it set up so the data is displayed, there will be some upfront costs to get some customization about how to use that data in a more original way. But the actual plugin, depending on what system, I am a WordPress junkie. I don't make any bones about it. So there are a number of really good quality IDX WordPress plugin, and they, to get a really good one that really gives you a lot of flexibility, you'd be talking about $50 to $60 a month, which I just don't think that's outrageous.
Okay, that's what the plugin costs. Now you have to have the website that works.
Yeah.
the website that actually collects the email or the contact information. You got to know how to manage it, how to work it. I agree with you, but I don't agree with you. It's sort of an area we'll have to test it out. We'll
I
have to
think
look at it.
I agree with you. It's not maybe for something at the beginner level, but you know there are solutions around the. You know, there are solutions at much lower. You know, I'm not going. You know, there's a solution that offers IDX integration at $10 a month. I would question how fantastic that would be, but there are solutions at that level. But I think more important, where I would agree with you, is the IDX thing isn't the really important bit. The important bit is what you're doing for Karen, and you know, is putting local information on that site.
Yeah.
I noticed I was traveling all weekend, folks. I was attending a WordPress conference, but I kept an eye on what my beloved Bill is up to online. And I
Busy as
know
hell.
I
Excuse my
noticed
language out there.
I noticed that you put on. I presumed you took it. You took a video of the open house and you put that on Karen's Facebook.
You know, it's a start. It's the first time Karen's ever done it. I know that's powerful.
And I liked it, and I thought it was a great. I thought it was a great idea, Bill. I thought, you know, it was obviously your first attempt, but you know, keep on doing it, because it.
Notice there's an embedded map too on that post.
Yeah, and it's just a great idea. You know, you got this great, powerful computer on you. Everybody, you got this smartphone, especially if you've got the iPhone and you've got a newer iPhone. It's just a great camera, great video, and it's really easy to get it up.
Yep.
And it's just great, just easy to use it now, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, the iPhone is powerful, and the 6 is amazing. We don't have it. We're using the 5. But hey, folks out there listening, you can go to KarenConrad.com and just type in the search, type in ANSELMO, and that's the street it's on, and you'll find that post. Or you can even just type in open house, and you're going to find all the open houses, and you'll find this one will probably go on the top on the search. I consider this a really basic blog site, the KarenConrad.com.
Yeah.
Really basic. And it's a start. And I think it's where your real estate agents need to start. The problem is that most of real estate agents, if they are 57 and a female, I mean, how many really know how to put up a WordPress site?
Well, there's plenty of people who do it for them for a very reasonable charge.
But then they have to learn how to post, right? They have to learn how to post.
It's not that hard, Bill. It really isn't that hard. You know, if you know.
By the way, I build websites for people.
But really, WordPress,
just like
just basic posting and getting content up, and you know.
I try to get.
I know you've been doing it for.
I try to get. Karen does not want to post. I mean, she'll tell me ideas, but she still doesn't feel comfortable posting. And she's a real estate agent for 25 years, has all sorts of clients in California, is starting over in Reno, and we're going through that start trial and error. And I'll tell you, it's hard. Even with all her experience, it's tough. And it's so frustrating when I go out and I see real estate agents who don't know what they're doing getting listings. I mean, you don't know what they're doing towards, you know, even the basic marketing, like putting the sign in the right direction. I about fell over. So it's tough. Real estate's a tough business. You start by working with your friends and family. And if you're good and succeed, you start getting clients later on. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm not going to go, you know, I feel with your encouragement, I think Karen really needs to relook at that. It's not that hard to put something up on WordPress, is it? You know, compared to other systems, it's one of the more easier ones.
Well, I do like what, you know, you have the mail right. One of your products is, the product that just posts to Facebook.
Yeah, and Twitter.
Facebook and Twitter. Those two things, at least I know I've got something about real estate popping up each day.
You got regular content coming. The email,
and we mix it with her content.
Look, we try and make you contacting that database list that Toby talked about. We try and make it as easy as possible. You know, you click 3 buttons. You know, we write 10 stories for you. You can set it up so it will go out automatic, or you can choose one of the stories and 3 clicks, it will go out to a list that you've set up. You know, we tried to.
I like that product, John.
We tried to make it as easy as possible. It's only so far, but we have tried, and now we got the reputation protection where
that's what I'm looking forward to.
We've got that now in beta. We're offering it as part of the commercial package now.
Yep.
So we've got 3 products that try and automate or make touching your clientele online as easy as possible. And I know it sounds, we kind of push my own product, but I'm trying. It was around what Toby said. Toby said, you know, it's got to be easy, and you got to have your own, you got to have your list, you got to have your website. And he said I think he was being a little bit unfair to himself, because he said he knew that he had to do more on Facebook and Twitter, but it just wasn't his cup of tea.
Is that Toby? Toby saying that?
You know, but it was like an advert for Melrite, because, you know, if you really, really do feel like that, it really is, you'd probably be better just leaving it for Melrite, and at least it shows activity. So when people are checking you out, they just don't see that you'd never bothered to update your Facebook and your Twitter for months, which looks terrible.
Okay, 3 things here. I don't want to confuse folks. On Facebook, here's what I think. On Facebook, your Facebook should be your personal site. You should not have any feeds going to it. It should be what you put up, your friends and family, and all that. Keep that personal, and you'll get clients from just that, because they know every once in a while you could put up, if you're doing an open house, but don't put a bunch of junk up there. Just your personal stuff, what you've done. Junk, I should say. On your business site, you set up a bit, which I do for folks. I mean, I'm not trying to sell my stuff, but it's important. You can do it too. Just go up on Facebook, set up a business page for your real estate. That's where you drop in everything that's business.
Yeah.
And other stuff. And keep that over there. So people, at least when they list your house, they can see the nice house.
Yeah, but I think
Skype
there's
decided to come up. That's interesting.
Sorry?
Skype. I just shut down Skype.
Yeah. I think there's that side of it where your agent, you really don't like social media. You don't matter how much podcasting, video podcasting we do on Mailriot, the amount of, you know, help we give through Mailright, you're not going to contribute any more to it. At least our system will show activity, but there's so much more you could do with the support of Mailright social media product. Is, you know, actively putting more stuff on your business, your Facebook business page. And the reason why that is, at some stage you can then, and you've done a bit of it, is you could use Facebook paid advertisement, and it's a powerful tool, isn't it, Bill? You know, you can zero in when you're doing an open house, you can place adverts, you can target, but for, you know, which is great, but for it to really work, it's, you know, for a particular open house, I thought your idea of utilizing Facebook was great. Normally, you do need a really good website, and your website for Karen is basic, but the content is building up.
I don't know if that's as basic as you think it is.
It's a basic.
It's got good SEO.
Yeah, but what I meant by basic, it was in stylistic. You know, you get a lot of agents spend a lot of money on all kind of whizzy stuff, where your Karen site is professional, but you're concentrated on getting a lot of content on it, and I think that's the way to go. Because in SEO,
it's called blogging, basic blogging.
In SEO terms, it's the content that Google's going to look at. Right. But the site itself is totally professional. So I think you're doing the video for trying out the video. You tried out Facebook. That's why having a business page and having content and being a bit more involved with it, if you can, because then you can then utilize Facebook advertising. I mean, let's be frank about it. Chris Smith is quite well known in the industry, and him and his partner, and they've built a really successful business, Curator. And the core, it's not the total core of the success of their business, it's them, their hard work. But one of the cores is their success with Facebook advertisement, and how, with their help with their agents that they work with, small teams and brokerages normally, that they have a reputation of getting really fantastic results for their clients. Well, the core is Facebook for them. They're quite open about it. There's no dark secret. But I'm a great believer, if you're seeing people get great success and you can understand why, you should follow those that have should follow them. And when I hear some people say you don't have to bother with social media, I was at a conference this weekend and I was talking to some business owners who utilize LinkedIn paid advertisement and Twitter paid advertisement. And they both I spoke to said they have got fantastic results from both, much cheaper than Facebook. And they've got some real good success from paid advertisement on those two platforms, Bill.
Right. Most real estate agents right now are just pulling their hair out, listening to you talk, because it's so, they don't understand. They can't use Twitter. They don't know how to use Twitter. Young people do. And they don't see how it works, and they don't see how it helps in real estate. And I'm not sure. I still think you have the basics. It's the 5, 5, and 10, knocking on the doors. But to tell you what I'm going to do, this is this week's experiment and Karen's journey. First of all, I want to mention one thing. We're still working with Chase, and we're going to look at, some of the Chase International. By the way, Chase has done nothing to outreach to me about any of the things that I'm doing. And they're a big brokerage. Nothing. Zero. I went and met with them once. I said, look, I'd like to sit in and figure out, I'd like to be Karen's full-time assistant. They haven't come back to me. They haven't looked at it. So I must not have enough social media out there even to gather their attention. That's just my thought. And we're talking about Karen's journey here, how she goes from a broker of 25 years, always never having less than 50,000 a year, and up to 200 some years, going to 2 years of struggling going in Reno. And she's a great agent. She knows her stuff inside and out, when it comes to the processing and the clients. So the other thing too is,
can I make a quick remark about that? I think if you're in an established area, you've been in the area a long time and you're established and you've built up all those face-to-face contacts, I don't think a lot of the stuff that we've talked about over the past 4 or 5 months, you probably don't have to do any of it. You've probably got your book of business, your leads, you've probably got enough business coming through to satisfy you. And if you don't, if you're not building up your own brokerage or your own small team, you've probably got no interest. But if you're not in that lovely position of having all those face-to-face relationships that have taken many years to build up, if your real estate has changed, marketing has changed, it's 2015. The fundamentals, yes, they're still there, always will be. If they ever do change, property agents won't be in existence anymore. I don't think in the foreseeable next 10, 15 years, they will change. They will always be there, the fundamentals.
We said that 10 years ago. I mean, the internet's been around for a while.
They will. I think if the fundamentals are still the same, agents and brokerages will still be there.
Hey, there's another thing I want to tell you, Jonathan. Think about this. I'm a licensed general contractor in California. I've built 2 subdivisions, 25 custom homes designed, built award-winning custom homes. City councilman. Karen has all of that experience behind her, and she's still having a hard time here in Reno.
But that's not in Reno.
And she knocks on doors.
But that's not in Reno.
5 and 5. It'll come. I know it'll come. I know she'll get there.
But that community credibility, that social local, it's not in Reno, so it doesn't count.
Well, no. I'm saying yes. By the way, I just went to Inset, and I know a lot of people at Inset now. I know if I've met a lot more people, and I've been very active in the community. Karen volunteered at Ironman up at Lake Tahoe yesterday with our one daughter, and I was out at the air races in the pits, working at the international air races. And we know lots of folks now. So, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of real estate agents out here. We don't
yeah,
have family here. But that just talking about that, um, here's what I think. Here's another thing I think. I think people don't believe what they read. Look, if you read her bio on go on her site, KarenConrad.com, it's a hell of a bio. Excuse my language out there. And we should throw me that, my general, my licensing, my construction, and all that. So,
well, but in a funnier way, one of at the conference I went to over the weekend, one of the presenters has written a couple very successful plugins. Well, got quite a group of them, and two of them were linked to Yelp and Google Plus. So actually, you can show your Yelp, Google testimonials on your WordPress website, and he does a free version and he does a pro version, and they've been very successful in there. And I was talking, and he was doing a presentation, and he was saying that it's been scientifically proven that testimonials, that if you can show a testimonial from a third party review site on has 50 times the more credibility with viewers than a written bio.
Yeah, I agree that there's been a time gap. Yeah.
Yep. So that's the and that's one of the things we try and deal with. But I just thought it's fascinating hearing that. I think it will come, but I think I just felt for you when you said that Karen wasn't prepared. You teach a little bit about how to blog, and she just blogged a bit more. And you said that she just didn't want. She just doesn't feel comfortable, and it's just a shame because it would just. She's got to do all these community stuff, and
well, she should be out there talking to the agents. I mean, talking to the other people, talk to people making that face.
People to talk to.
I can blog. I can do the backside. She doesn't want to blog. Hey, let's close this up and let's make one little announcement. That's interesting. We're getting a beep here. That is really interesting. I never heard that one. Hey, I think Skype. I'm really torqued at Skype right now because I'm trying to shut it off. I think it should have been shut down today. I normally don't bring up Skype before we do these blabs. I think it's been a pain. Hey, couple things. I said trying to cut the ums. Jonathan and I are going to be down at WordCamp LA. Right now it is the 21st of September. Jonathan and I are going to be WordCamp LA this next weekend. Give us a call if you're down there or check in with us, or you want to come by the real estate brokerage and talk or say anything. But one thing I'll say that I think is important, and Jonathan, I was supposed to go to WordPress Las Vegas this weekend, but Jonathan is out belly to belly with the top people in the industry of this technology of WordPress and code and CSS and all these things you don't have to worry about. And we're seeing it. And I'm going to go this weekend, but I think someone has to be there at these WordCamp meetups because that's not the sale. That's the real people out doing it. And you're hearing. Was that your phone that made the beep?
Yeah, it was.
Jonathan, what in the world was that? So I'm not going to do a lot of editing on this, by the way. We put these right up on YouTube, and maybe someday we'll put this up on a podcast.
It's just time restraints, but I think we're giving good insight. It's just that if you built up that social matrix, as I call it, you probably feel you are in a position where you probably don't have to. It just depends, because I think if you're in a very competitive metropolitan area like if you're in Orange County, I think you could be well established, but you would still have to invest money, time, and energy in all the latest things because the competition is just so intense.
If I was in Orange County, I got family down there, and we got family in Central Valley. Reno, we don't have family. It's just us.
Yeah.
And I think family is the first good real estate. It helps to have family. But one last thing. The best agent a couple of agents that I saw was a young kid who was 24 years old, who was a used car salesman, came over, did real estate. All he did every day is he took a hanger, put his name and card on it, and went door to door to door and kept on hanging doors. And all of a sudden he started getting listings. Just a thought. That's pretty basic technology.
Oh, don't. I keep repeating myself through these episodes that I don't and will not dismiss basic craft, field craft, as I call it, the basic of field craft when it comes to real estate and its place.
Maybe I should sell a hanger for somebody to go put it up. Design
I,
custom.
I, I think I think a lot of agents won't do the basics. I think especially
Painful.
if you're aiming your website at Pacific area, a Pacific part of town. I think doing a lot of door knocking in that area is really beneficial. The only area where and doing you got to do a certain number of phone calls per day. You got to do
right. You got to talk to people. Don't be a secret agent. Toby talked about that.
And every second weekend you got to do open house.
Hey, Jonathan, we're going to talk offline for a second. Then we're going to come back on because I got a special announcement I want to put out. I think I want to make sure, folks, we're back to you through Blab. I can turn Blab on and off. Jonathan, hi, Jonathan.
Hello.
So what we decided is we're going to set up a new show. We're going to test it for real estate. This is unique for real estate. We're going to try to keep it under 30 minutes. We will keep it under 30 minutes. It's going to be on Blab, but we're also going to put it on podcasts. So our first show is going to be this Monday. We'll just be coming back from LA, so we might be a little tired. But Monday, we're shooting right now for 6:30 Pacific time on Monday. And that'd be 9:30 Eastern time. So you can figure it out in between. Sound good, Jonathan?
Yeah.
So let's finish up this episode of Mailrite, the real estate show, episode 18. And that show's going to have a little bit different name. We can still do these Mailrite shows, but that's going to have a different name. It's going to be once a week.
Yeah, sure.
And to the point. Thank you, folks.